So thanks again for taking the time to speak with me. I really, I'd love the idea that I can get a midlife. I mean, if listen, we're right around the same age, midlife, right? It's not bad to say that, or is it? I don't know. Um, but I've been single for several years now. I too was in a marriage for a long time, 10 years. I have a beautiful daughter. And I am noticing, and in speaking with my female friends, how challenging it is to really find somebody later in life. Like we come with with so I don't know if is it are we coming with baggage? Is it that we haven't healed? Like I it's just and it seems to me to be a common thread with every girl that I speak with, and guys too for the most part. But I really wanted to get a male, a successful male's perspective on this. So let's get into you a little bit. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your background? I know that you're in Texas, but where you grew up and what led you to join the military, the Army. You were in for over 20 years. So thank you for your service, sir. I have a lot of respect for veterans and law enforcement and first responders. I think you guys are doing the Lord's work. So thank you for that. And how that has shaped your experience to where you are today in life.
Oh man, there's so much there to unpack. I wish we narrowed it down, asked me to be more specific, because I could go so many places with that. Yeah, so the military, I got my love of country and patriotism during Desert Storm. I was a boy. I was fourth, fifth grade during Desert Storm, and my dad's younger brother, my Uncle Paul, who I'm named after my Uncle Michael and my Uncle Paul, both of them served in the military. But my Uncle Paul, I was much closer to, and when he served in Desert Storm, I remember being, 9, 10 years old, watching the news, thinking I was going to see my Uncle Paul, who was a private in the Army. I thought I was going to see him on the news, but all I saw was Norman Schwarzkopf. But it was that season of life where I saw the patriotism in the town that I lived in at the time, with the yellow ribbons tied around the tree.
Yeah.
And, just that, I just love of country was really born during that time for me. And I knew at 10 years old I wanted to serve in the Army. My other uncle, my Uncle Michael, served in both the Army and the Air Force. And then my grandfather, I actually have a picture of him right here on my desk. My grandfather served in the Army he was a Huey pilot in Vietnam.
Nice.
And he served enlisted during Korea, and then went to OCS and became a helicopter pilot. And so I had a good family history that served in the military, and I wanted to do that. Right out of high school, had planned on joining the Army. My mother begged me to try a year of college. I did a semester of community college to try and make her happy, but I left.
It wasn't for you, huh?
Well, not then. I knew that later in life, I knew continuing my education was going to be very important. I wanted to go to Texas A&M, which I eventually did. And I just, right out of high school, it was like, I want to jump out of planes and blow stuff up and be a paratrooper. And that was my path.
And if there's a time to really kind of dive in and do all those crazy ideas that maybe may not be supported by our parents at the time, it's during that age, right? It's like when you're between 20 and 30 years old, it's like, go experiment, figure it out, I'm
not saying everybody needs to do it, but there was nothing better for me to do than for me to join the Army and go do that awesome stuff right at that 18, 19, 20-year-old age. It was